Yishem Adam Rahmatav Ad Olam. Hashem's name will be blessed forever and ever. The kosher kitchen. Class number 1. We dedicated this to our class. For the Refuah Shalem, I have a name you want to mention. And also to the Israeli forces in Israel and in around the world. I told you around the world. Now there are many of them in Iran, right? And other places. I saw a text today from the Mossad. Hey, Shalom Aleichem. From the Mossad. It's related to the Mossad today. the Iranians saying that they bombed in Herzliya the building, what they think is Shalom Aleichem, the building of the Mossad. So the Mossad responds, I don't know if on X or on Facebook or whatever, interesting. It's okay with us. We're all in Iran right now, so there's nobody there, you know. Baruch atah Eloheinu, Eloheinu melech haolam, she'akol nihyo b'dvoro. Okay, so we're starting off very, very wide topic. I thought that this is what we should deal for the next, few classes, because this is very common. It's something we're dealing on a daily basis, and many have a lot of questions. And it's important to learn things that we are dealing with on a daily basis, okay? So we started last week to talk about basar v'chalav, fleshik and milchik, meat and dairy. I'm going to summarize a little bit, and then we move on to a lot of topics and questions. So, like, we have to do the separation between meat and dairy. What if two people eating on the same table? Meat and dairy. What if we want to serve dairy first and then meat? What's the procedure? What if you use a dairy spoon in a meat cooking? And it's a lot of questions that happens all the time. All right? So let's start off with saying that where this prohibition comes from. It says in the Torah, the book of Shemot, and the book of Devarim, Deuteronomy, Lo tevashel gedi b'chalev imo. 3 times in the Torah it says that one should not cook a kid in its mother's milk. Kid, K-I-D, right? Referring to a goat. It's just a title. It means any type of meat except fish. You should not mix it with milk, and not necessarily with its mother's milk. And the Torah said that 3 times to teach us 3 different prohibitions. What are the 3 prohibitions that we know that are related to fleshik and milchik, to meat and dairy? Number 1.
Can't eat, can't cook.
Don't eat, can't cook. Can benefit out of it. Okay? So, the Torah wrote, don't cook. All these 3 prohibitions, it appears in the Torah in the form of cooking. One should not cook, and get no benefit out of it. The Torah teaches us that we cannot get benefit only if you cook it. Okay? But the prohibition to eat from it comes from the Rabbanan, our sages, our rabbis. Why one cannot cook? Nonetheless, the Torah didn't prohibit cooking in any other prohibited food. The Torah is specific about meat and milk. What about cooking other, let's say, what if I cook pig with milk, with cheese? Do I transgress any law from the Torah? Do I break any law from the Torah? Yeah. It's related only to kosher meat. But the Torah, Chachamim says that, let's put it that way. the other prohibitions, like nevela and trefa, you know what's the difference between nevela and trefa? You heard these terms before, nevela and trefa? Treif. Treif, okay. Since some of you here never heard that, so it's a very common word, please try to remember. First word called nevela, or trefa come from they're using a word like treif. Oh, this is not kosher, it's treif. But the original word are nevela or trefa. Again, nevela or trefa. The difference between them is related to an animal. Nevela, it's referred to an animal that either died but not by natural cause. For example, an animal or a lion or tiger give it a hit and now it's dying or kills it. Okay? Or the shochet, the one that's supposed to do the rabbi, the shchita, he didn't cut the two veins, the two simanim. He just did one and so forth and so on, okay? Not natural way or it was a mistake in the shechita. Trefa or treif refers to a situation when the animal, when I say animal, it refers to chicken as well, okay? When they found, after the shechita, the kosher shechita, they found some defects inside the body. That's why after shechita, I don't know if you saw the process, they're opening the body and they're checking thoroughly the pieces inside. So according to the halacha, there are 8 different kind of situations that will disqualify the animal after you open it, and they call it trefa. According to the Rambam, there's over 70 for animals and 72 for chickens, but the main one are 8. Okay, one of them, very famous, is a hole in the lung. It means that this animal will not last for a year. It will die. Okay, and so forth and so on. So the term glat that you're familiar with means in Yiddish, halak, smooth. So they taking this long, they put it like they checking for tire in water. You know, so did you ever see how they checking for flat tire? So they're putting air inside the lungs, they're putting it in water to see if bubbles coming out. Bubbles coming out, it's a problem. They have to see if there is a hole. If there is a hole, straight hole, it's disqualified, non-kosher according to all opinion. But if there is a mucus on it, and it's easier to remove, so some call it glat. But according to halak Bet Yosef, it's disqualified. There's a lot to learn, I'm just giving you the idea. It has to be smooth completely, no mucus that covers it. Usually, I don't know if you saw, it's called sircha. You know what sircha means? Sircha, if this is the body of the animal, and inside is the lung, you can see inside that from the lung, there's like strings going to the body, to the body itself, strings, one here, one here. That means that there is some sort of fat mucus. It's kind of like mucus. I'm trying to use this, you understand, like a gum, stretched gum. That's not a good sign, okay? Usually when the animals are outside, they breathe a lot of, they might breathe, they might inhale stones and stuff like that, or even broken nails and stuff like that, and it hits the the lungs and cause that.
How do you call it?
Called what?
The thing you said, simcha?
Sircha.
Silver.
Anyways, so the Torah, things like nevela and trefa and pig, pork, a person, he is careful about it very much and is distanced from it. And the nefesh, the person himself, feel disgust by pig, pork. You can give today people that already eating kosher, even if they're not Jews, no hide, they disgust by it. You tell them pork, they don't want to hear it, right? even the seafood and all that. The nefesh is already clean, you know. It feels, you can't even, don't even talk to me about that. It's disgusting to me. So the Torah is a new thing that, just the chidush, that both of them, the mix of milk and meat together, prohibit the food. So the Torah is always talking about something that is most common. And most common is the cooking it. This is why the Torah used the wording, you should not cook. But it's not limited to cooking. Okay, we'll see in a second. The prohibition of mixing milk and meat together refers, according to the Torah, only to an animal, right? Look all over the Bible, see, you won't find anything about chicken. Chicken is a decree from our rabbis. It's a rabbinical law. Okay? What's isur hana'ah? We should not get any benefit from it. So when it was mixed, it's become disqualified, not kosher. So what should I do with the meat? All right? So I'm cooking meat soup, chicken or meat, and a whole cup of milk fell in. The amount that fell in, disqualified. For some, it's beautiful. You know, they like to add milk or butter, milk, stuff like that. It's good. So I say, hey, I can give it to my neighbor. It's a waste. It's really good food. My neighbor or my friend, I have a friend that is non-Jewish, he can benefit out of it. Or I can give it to my dog. I'm not going to eat from it. What's the halacha has to say about it? What do you get to do? What do you have to do?
Just throw it out.
Throw it out.
You can give this to the dog.
You cannot. Can't make any benefit out of it. Just put it in the toilet, or toss it to the trash, or put some chemicals on it, so no one can get any benefit out of it.
Anything like a 1/60th?
1/60th is, yes, it's something we discussed, but this is why I mentioned that I put just enough to disqualify it. Obviously, 1/60th is, it's okay. So you can't give it to a non-Jew. You can give it to an animal, because if I give it to my dog, I'm kind of like making benefit out of it, right? Or give it to a friend or to a dog, it's some sort of a benefit. Someone else enjoying from it. So when something like that happens, you have to disqualify it, trash it, toilet, you name it. So I can't get any benefit, I can sell it, and I can't cook it. Now the next question, I think we discussed it the other day, and you know what, I was not a question, but I was discussing with a guy that he is a chef, Jewish, he's chef, unfortunately, in a non-kosher restaurant. But sometimes we get questions about someone that could not find a job, and the only job he got is to be a waiter in a restaurant, a non-kosher restaurant. And he said, listen, I'm not eating from it. I am just either cooking or just serving the cooked food. Can he work in such a restaurant? A Jewish working in a non-kosher restaurant. And I want you to know one thing, for example, cooking is not limited, the meaning cooking is not limited to taking meat in a pot and butter or stuff like that and cook it. It could be the different definition for cooking. We'll see one later, but now I'll give you an example. I have a burger, which is hot, and I take a slice of cheese, put on it. What's going to happen to the cheese? Melt in. So this is a way of cooking. Even if they're both dry, but the heat will melt it in.
Yeah.
That's also a way of cooking. It's also considered cooking. So they ask him, these waiters, hey, get me 3 cheeseburgers. So he's got to take whatever ingredients they put together, and then they put the cheese, and they put together, and he's serving it to a non-Jew. Can he do that?
Yes.
It's a question for his rabbi.
But he's not the owner.
That's always a good thing to
You
do.
can sell yourself
He
to an
still
idolater.
makes parnasa, so he would have to consult his rabbi.
So,
If you can sell yourself to an idolater.
Huh?
You can sell yourself to an idolater to live.
To what?
You
Avoda?
sell yourself to an idolater. We're required to go back and redeem them. But if you can sell yourself to an idolater, I think you can go to work and you get
Sell yourself to what?
idolater.
To idolater, to work with idolater or for idolaters?
You can sell yourself to somebody who worships idols. When you're poor and you can't, the family's required to redeem him. So if you can sell yourself to survive, I would think you could do this. I don't know, I'm asking.
Okay, you are touching in a very interesting topic, and we have an example for it in a book of Shoftim, the book of Judges, with the guy from the tribe of Dan, that he is actually the grandson of Moshe Rabbeinu, that he works for idol worshiper. It's a whole story about that, and we'll get there with Hashem. We'll talk about all the aspects, if it's possible or not. So the case is here that he wants to work. There's plenty other works out there, but they're paying really good. And the tips, he can make pretty good money. The halacha is he absolutely cannot work in such place, even if he certain that he will not taste, even not accidentally or not accidentally, from the food. Okay, let me just finish. Okay, so we should understand that he cannot work in such place, in such environment. Okay, even if he cook for someone else or put the ingredients together for someone else, he will transgress the law of you should not cook a kid in its mother milk. But if the case is that he's not cooking, no one asked him to cook, he's just serving the food, and he's going to serve a non-kosher food, even pork and seafood and cheeseburger and nevelot, trefot, nevela and trefa, like we mentioned the other today, and he has no other option but this. He lives in the place. That's the only place. So, and he knows for sure that he will not taste from the food. We can be lenient and let them say, you can work there till you find something else. This is just temporary, right? Till you find something else. Right now, you had to pay rent. You got to pay, I don't know, medical bills or whatever. You need to survive. So we can be a bit lenient. Okay, this halachot, people, if we don't learn it, so I got a question last week, and I asked also Rabbi Feigenbaum what he would do. Someone got a job to paint a church.
What?
To paint a church. Constructor, a Jew. Pretty good money.
He can't do the
Pretty good money, huh?
He can do everything but the main room, right?
Right, so bottom line, he can. Rabbi Moshe Feinstein gave it paskin, a verdict that one can do that. But when you ask a Jew about it, he says immediately, no, of course not. This is why you got to learn halachot. And today, and I'm sure the next time we meet, you'll be surprised from how the halacha can be very creative. It's important to know these halachot. Okay. Someone want to say something?
Obviously, if someone has to work in that environment, I guess he should not show that he's religious. At least just something.
Very good point. So Oscar pointing very good point. It's best that you won't work with the tzitzit out and the big yarmulke. Just disguise so other people won't get the impression that it's permitted. Okay? It's for the outlookers that will look and maybe learn that it's permitted. You want to have something?
And that's only if he's serving? That's only
Right.
But not cooking?
Not cooking. Not cooking. Now, there is, under the category of cooking, could be grillings, frying, even pickling, not even. Pickling is one of them. Pickling, what's pickling means? It's called kavush. I'm going to use the word kavush instead of pickling. Please, I want you to learn this word. Kavush. Kavush means pickling. What's pickling? To put something with, let's say I put a jar. Let's say I take a cucumber, slice it, I put it in, and I put salt and vinegar, a little bit. I leave it for 24 hours, or I cook it will be faster. What's going to happen to the cucumber? It's going to be the same taste like yesterday? Of course not. It's going to be pickled. Right? Pickling, it has the power of cooking. So now the question is the fun. In the Torah refers cooking means pot, boiling, finish. But under the category of cooking, there is different ways of cooking. Like I mentioned, grilling, pickling, and stuff like that. Now, you tell me what's the halacha? You are the rabbi. I have a piece of meat that fell into a cold milk. Okay, I have a cup. Nonetheless, it sounds strange, but believe me, it happens. You have a milk. I'll give you a scenario. A milk that someone boiled. He drank half of it and said, oh, it's a waste. I'm going to use it tomorrow. He put it in the refrigerator. On the top, it was pieces of meat. Whatever happened, he fell into it when it was cold, already cold, later on. In the morning, he opens the refrigerator and you see inside his pot, you see a piece of meat that was sitting nicely and comfortably inside the milk. Can I eat this piece of meat?
Yes.
I would presume you could.
Someone presume that you could.
Well, you can because there's no heat, there's no transfer of milk and meat. You wash it off.
Wash it off. So, the halacha says, if the piece of meat was inside the milk, swimming there, sitting there, for over 24 hours, immediately the meat and the milk, prohibited, trash it. But it was less than 24 hours. It happens when I put it 9 o'clock p.m. in the evening, I went to sleep. In the morning, 7 o'clock, I open it. It's less even than 12 hours, 10 hours. I can take these chicken drums or whatever piece that fills in, wash it, and eat it. You're surprised, but that's the halacha. That's what we need to learn. Because less than 24 hours in a cold milk, it doesn't consider cooking. Listen, it's cold milk. Listen to you have to be very careful with the details. Cold, spicy, hot, warm, salted. Kitchen is very tricky. Okay? So, we know less than 24 hours would be permitted. So far, so good?
Yes.
Good. Today, I know many people won't do that. Most of the people will throw it away. But believe me, it was the days, and some, unfortunately, even today, they can't even afford that. Many, many years ago, people could not afford meat the entire week. Maybe on Shabbat. Maybe for a holiday. Okay, so you wash it and it's permitted to eat. Now, same case, it's in the pot. I take the drums out and it says, is this 24 hours or not? I'm debating with myself. I don't know the exact time. It's called sofek. Sofek. So the halacha says, if you have a sofek, if you have a doubt, if it was there 24 hours or not, the halacha is you can eat it and you can even cook and eat it later. Okay? All right? Same can happen with vegetables that fell into a milk, or sometimes milk fell on it. You see drops of milk on it. Can I eat these vegetables with meat? So the halacha, it's same. If you have a doubt, if it's 24 hours, wash them and eat them with the meat. Don't leave the drops on it. Eat them with meat.
Like paprika or
All right? It doesn't
Like pepper.
disqualify it. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
what if it's spicy? Like if it has like paprika or like.
You wait till we get to
Like that.
spicy. We're not there yet.
Then
This
that
is we.
wouldn't- that
Well, you
wouldn't
gotta wait. You gotta wait. You gotta wait. You got the idea. This is basic. You got it? We'll deal later with spicy, with lemon, with spices, hot, not hot. But that's the basic. Any questions so far? Nothing good. Next. This is just a recommendation. When you shop, when you go shopping, okay, and you buy, usually when people buy, they buy dairy and they buy meat products many times. So you buy, let's say, a bottle of milk or cheese, whatever, and you buy meat. Don't put it in the same plastic bag. Okay? Separate bags for each item. Verstehst? Verstehst. Okay. What about refrigerator? What about refrigerator? The question is if I need to separate my product in the refrigerator, or can I put on the same shelf meat and dairy? So you're
Yes,
afraid
you
to
can put
talk because you don't want
Put
to.
it on the same shelf.
You can put on the same shelf.
As long as it's wrapped really well.
So in the refrigerator, think about it. The refrigerator is hot or cold?
Cold.
So you don't have to put separation in the refrigerator between dairy and meat. You can put them in the same box or sale, or whatever you want to call it, or on the shelf next to each other. But make sure they're not touching, and it's best to have them covered, always covered. Especially when you have kids in the house. They're opening, they close, they put their hands, they want to reach out to this and that, and things fell off to another one and get mixed. Happens all the time. But when they are covered, the risk of mixing the two is less. Okay? Nowadays it's much easier. We have plastic bags for everything. It's well covered, it's good, it's easy, it's clean and healthier. All right? Yes.
I have a question. So the mitzvah is not to cook the meat with the milk or dairy. Not to cook. What about if people eat a fresh, cold meat and cold milk?
What about what? Eating what?
If
Fresh?
people drink the cold milk and eat a piece of meat cold.
It doesn't matter. You're mixing together, it's prohibited. You can drink the milk first, cold, and then eat the meat cold. Even uncooked meat will be permitted under some circumstances. Okay, especially after you kosherize it, you can eat it as is. Or from the animal shechta, take a piece and eat. We're concerned about the meat, the blood that comes out. I'm describing a very extreme situation.
Right.
All right. If you eat cold, chicken drums and drink milk together, it doesn't mean that it's kosher. It's not kosher because now you're mixing in your mouth. You always have to separate. You can drink the milk, clean your mouth, and eat the cold chicken drums.
So at that point, it's not mixed. Not certainly the cook. So don't mix.
It's not only that it's mixed in your mouth. You cannot drink milk and immediately 1 second eat the meat. You have to wash the mouth at least to make a separation between the two. Yeah. If you eat the meat first, you have to wait 6 hours. All right. What about tablecloth? Do I have to have a tablecloth, mapa, it's called mapa, tablecloth, for dairy food and for meat? The halacha is, it's not mandatory. You don't have to. You can eat on the same tablecloth, dairy, just make sure it's clean.
Yeah.
Sure it's clean. Okay? Especially when people eating in on a plate. or in a bowl. One eats cereal, one eat meat. It's okay. What about sinar, bibs, for babies? Do I have to separate bibs for dairy and bibs for meat? The halacha says yes. Okay, many times it happens that it falls into this area. You're going to get mixed with residues from the last time. Separate it. Okay, it's kind of like a plate. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because they baby eat from it. All right. Can I wash these bibs together, the meat and the dairy? Can I wash them, put them in a washer or? Okay. Together, yes, you can. We have no concern that you're cooking meat and dairy together. Okay, why? Because look what I have here. What is it? Is it the two of you here? You see? You have a twin brother?
Yes, sir.
Hello? I don't know why the picture freezes on you.
There's no twins in here.
Because that's not right. Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you for the drink for the Coen brothers. I know I forgot something. Thank you. Because the chemicals that we use for the washer machine or the dishwasher will disqualify. Okay? Obviously, it's always best, and the halacha says when you use one dishwasher, so you have to separate. You do one dairy, one meat. We are talking here about a case that we have babies' bibs that they're made out of cloth. Okay, like you have towels. Okay, so you have some spot on it from milk, some from meat, from soup. You can throw them to the washer together. All right.
But I have a question.
Yeah.
You know, like how you're washing, like I guess you can say like the juices of the meat, and then also in the same sink, and it's hot. You use hot water, right?
You have to be careful. You have to be careful. You have to be careful not to cook. Some people don't know. I gave you an extreme situation. People do a mitzvah and at the same time do avera, committing a sin. For example, people want to have the mitzvah of bi'ur chametz. They're burning the chametz. So you see people coming with plastic bags with food in it. Usually it's in the shul. There's a barrel. They put in the barrel. It's already fire there. They throw it away. They say the nusach, the blessing, and they're burning it together. All right? But burning together, you cannot burn together milk and meat. So you have a salami sandwich with something that is dairy. Putting together, it's a problem. You can do one, wait a little bit, and then do the other one. Okay? This is such an example of a situation, a scenario that nobody really thinks about. I'm destroying it. But how are you destroying it? By cooking them together. Right? Yeah.
The bib is silicone.
What is it?
The bib is silicone.
So you don't do it together because it's considered as a plate. So you have to separate it. When the halacha permit washing them together, it's like when it's just a towel thingy. So towel is not a problem. You don't eat from it. Right? It's a different case. Okay. Eating on the same table. It happens all the time in the house, at work, that people eating, one eat dairy and the other guy eats meat. Can we eat next to each other?
No.
Meat and dairy?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Okay, I hear yes, I hear no, and actually you're both right. How is it possible they're both right? Yes or no?
Because there's more than 3 kids in this room.
Correct.
It depends.
That's the most accurate answer. It depends. What depends on what? Let's see. So let's start with saying that it's prohibited. You can't. It's prohibited to eat meat on a table while there's a milk. Let's say a milk cup, dairy food in the other side of the table. Definitely next to you. Okay, and vice versa. You can eat cereal with milk when there is a meat product next to you. When you're all by yourself, why? It happens that you're dreaming about whatever you dream, and all of a sudden you're just taking something and you pick up a food. It happens all the time. Accidentally, you can reach out and put in your mouth. You got to separate. Okay, so that's reason number one. What if two people eating together? One guy eating dairy, the other guy eat meat. It depends if they know each other. Yes, really, Jesse, really. Why it makes any difference if they know each other or they don't know each other?
Oh, the trust.
They might share food.
They might share food. I feel comfortable with him to give him, to take from him. We can share food. It's going to be a problem. So two eating together, one dairy, one meat, if they know each other, they cannot eat on the same table because the way a person, how he acts, he wants to, he's respecting his friend. So maybe you want to give him, hey, you got to try this. Take this bite. Hey, open your mouth. You got to try it. He forget what he is. They won't notice. They know each other. They're friends. That causes a problem. Halachically, it's a problem. If the table is big, all right, they can't, let's say, can't touch each other, can't reach out to each other with their hands. They may eat on the same table. So one eat in one edge, the other eat in the other edge. They know each other. They can eat dairy and meat. What time is mincha?
8:25.
Okay, thank you for coming. Thank you. God bless you. Thank you. Shkoyach. Tov.
8:25.
25, right? So I was thinking, okay. Give me a signal. I hope you guys taking notes. Okay? It's all up here, right? Okay. I know you. This is why I ask you to take notes. Okay. Another way, it's called heiker, a sign. Put a sign between you. If you put some sort of an item, but usually it's not there, you can put a Coca-Cola bottle. Okay? It's there anyway sometimes. Okay? So I don't know. Some sort of mechitza, separation between you. So big dish.
Dish soap.
Dish soap.
Unusual.
Right. Something unusual. So it will remind you that, hey, the guy next to you eating something you cannot eat. You cannot share. So even if they sit next to each other, but there is a separation between them, okay, you can open a folder and put between you, for example. All right, something like that, or a book. Usually you don't have it there. All right, so you may use that separation, and you can eat dairy and meat when you are next to each other. You be careful. What are the conditions of this separation, this sign, this heiker? Not only that you have an item that usually it's not on the table between the two of you, it needs to be a little bit high, like a loaf of bread, a whole one that you're not planning to eat from it in that dinner. It could be a frozen one, for example, or some sort of a box. But if you put a ring or a key, that's not considered a separation. Okay. It's not high. You gotta have some height. A water pitch, water jug or pitcher is not good for that separation because people usually have that stuff. Like I said, Coca-Cola, any other soda. It's already there. It won't be a good separation. Huh?
Kleenex box? Kleenex?
Kleenex could be good. Yeah, Kleenex is good. Okay. What about two that they don't know each other? Know each other. Two guys, random guys, eating in a restaurant. Usually the restaurant either serve dairy or serve meat.
So this guy's in a non-kosher restaurant.
No, but some places like in the mall, you have some mall that what they have is different type of stores. One will serve pizza, the other one is parv, and here let's say shawarma, okay? And they can see it freely.
Oh, any food court, right.
Ma?
Food court. Right in the
Food court?
Yeah, food court.
Food court,
Yeah.
fine. So it happens to be they're sitting next to each other. Maybe it was the only empty place. Or in the park. Okay, go in the park, there's a trailer for this, and you go sit together. So it can happen, right? They're both kosher food, selling kosher food only. They don't know each other. It happens to sit together. Okay, they don't know each other. They may eat next to each other, even without any separation, the food. Okay, we don't have chashash. We don't have any concern that they might serve each other food.
What if they get to know each other on the way?
So it's still not a problem. Usually the people, even they know, just get to know each other, they don't serve each other food. Right? Normally. Okay. If you are too friendly, just separate yourself, I don't know what to tell you. You know? All right. Okay.
Is this
Hey, I'm not skipping anything. Okay. So this is only, we said separation is two people. But for one person, separation won't help. Remember we said in the beginning, there's meat on that table, it's only you. You might reach out and take it. So the halacha says, you eat dairy, make sure there's non-meat product, and vice versa on the table. Okay? Because you can serve yourself. You can reach out and accidentally, dreaming, spacing, you want to put it in your mouth. It happens all the time. Sometimes snack, if that's dairy, it's next to you, you're eating meat, a burger, and you reach out and you put it in your mouth and it's dairy snack. Okay. Separation between meat and milk. So to the Sephardim, one that eats meat or birds or chicken, you should not eat dairy food till wait 6 hours, period. Sephardim, Yemenite, 6 hours. There is some leniency, 5.5 hours, but we'll see it B'ez Hashem later. It depends on what's the condition. For Ashkenazim, it could be, depends on where you come from, it could be 6, 4, 3, and 1 hour. 1 hour. The Dutch, for example, had the custom to wait 1 hour. Okay? You don't count these 6 hours from the end of the meal, but from Birkat HaMazon. People mistakenly counting from the Birkat HaMazon. They finished to eat meat 30 minutes ago. And they're eating now the the dessert, and words of Torah, and all that. They don't have to wait that long. You count from the minute you finish, you swallow the meat product, meat food. Thank you. Okay. Something we mentioned the other day. Someone that eats soup meat or cooked meat broth or cholent. Even if you don't eat from the meat, just the potatoes or just the egg, or you just drink the milk, drink the soup, and you still have to wait 6 hours because he observed the taste from the meat. Nonetheless, as I mentioned the other day, the Shulchan Aruch permit that. If you eat only the potatoes or only the egg from the chulent, you don't have to wait 6 hours. The halacha is not like the Shulchan Aruch in this case, which is usually rare, but is acceptable among all the rabbis, and this is how we keep it. Okay?
Rabbi, I'm sorry. You said if you eat an egg or what else? You said
Potatoes.
Or the beans, just the beans.
From the children. From the
It's
children.
already all the grease of the meat is already inside there.
That's what the rabbis told, but Shulchan Aruch says the prohibition says meat, not any other product. That even if you observe the taste from it, because the Shulchan Aruch says to the body digest these beans that you eat differently if you have to digest the meat itself. So the Shulchan Aruch, Rabbi Yosef Karo was lenient about it. Okay.
Does it say you have to wait any amount of time?
Ma?
If you eat just a potato or an egg, does it,
6 hours. 6 hours. Any meat product or cooked with meat, you have to wait 6 hours. The rice, everything that was mixed with it, you name it. The vegetables, Shulchan Aruch says, but we don't follow Shulchan Aruch on this matter. Ashkenazi and Sephardi and Yemenite. It's really rare that happens like that. We are more strict than the Shulchan Aruch in this case.
So there's no case where you can be
Someone wants,
There's no case where you can be lenient on
2 more minutes, and no, it's 25. So I have more than 2 minutes,
I said there's no case that you can be lenient on that?
No, I just said no. Someone mistakenly ate a dairy, ice cream within the 6 hours, or he started to eat cereal, or he make himself coffee with milk. Happens many times within the 6 hours. Why are you drinking this? I already started it. No, well, I'm going to finish. What the halacha says, immediately quit.
Immediately stop.
You know that you're messing up right now. Immediately quit. And he needs to do teshuvah for breaking the halacha, regret, and study the halachot, basar and chalav, meat and dairy. So sit down and study it.
Do you swallow what you're eating or you spit it out?
If you can spit it out, spit it out. If it's disgusting, then you can swallow it. Now, I think 1 or 2 halachot, and that's it for today. Ashkenazim, as I said, waiting 6, according to the Rambam and Shulchan Aruch, some 4 hours, some 3 hours, some 1 hour. The Maharshal says around 500 years ago is Ashkenazi Paskin. He says, Kol mi sheyesh b'reach Torah. If you have a smell of Torah in you, not much Torah, there's a smell. You heard about Torah a little bit. You know a little bit Torah. You should wait 6 hours. If you have just a little bit fear of God, so all those who still have the custom to keep only 3 or 4, or this is the custom Dutch, 1 hour, they have to stop this custom and keep 6 hours. Be like everyone else. Okay? Less halacha for today. Ashkenazi that used to be strict and to wait 6 hours between meat and dairy. And now he become very old and he wants to be lenient and keep a little bit less than 6 hours, 5 hours. Sometimes it happens when they are in some sort of institutions and they serving food on exact hours all the time, and the difference would be 6 hours. Could be 5 hours in between. Okay, they're serving 1 o'clock and then 6 o'clock dinner. It's not 5 hours, it's not 6 hours, it's 5 hours, right? So, and you don't want to wait. So what the halacha says, he needs, the Ashkenazi needs to do hatarat nedarim, nullify his vows, because he already made a commitment, even if he didn't declare it. They do for him hatarat nedarim, and from that point he can eat after 5 hours, for example. But Sephardi is busted. You can't. No atarat nadarim, no give out. You have to keep 6 hours. What if you starve? So you starve to death. That's it. Shabbat tov. We continue next week, Bezrat Hashem. Find a solution. You got to be creative. You got to find a solution.
What is the punishment? Because you said that the Torah says 3 times.